Hi, lovelies. All right, so last October I finished a book, and this was from Book of the Month Club, and it was called Vampires of El Norte by Isabel Canas. Oh my gosh, this lady can write. Um, so when the main character, Nena, was a young girl, she had a best friend, Nestor, and they were attacked by something when they went out to look for gold in the middle of the night. They were going to try to save. It's kind of a historical fiction because it's happening during the Texas Mexico border clash and the Texas Mexico War, and they're desperate to save their land and their ranch lands. So the children want to go and like dig up this treasure chest that's supposed to be buried near the spring. It's like a old wives' tale of this old fable of the local area, and in the moonlight you should be able to see the glow of the treasure, blah blah blah, dig where the moon is shining. And so they go to do that, and Nena gets attacked. And Nestor thinks that she's dead. And so he runs away because he's like, oh my gosh, her father is the head honcho. He owns the ranchero. He is going to kill me, and I can't live without Nena anyway. So he runs off and he makes his life in the world. He's a cattle rustler. He is really good cowboy. Um, does deliveries and helps other ranchers, and he's just an all-around cowboy, good guy. But he doesn't feel like a good guy because he thinks that he got Nana killed, and she was his best friend. So later in life, when the U.S. attacks Mexico in 1846, he comes back and he's trying to tell the rancheros, you're in danger, something's happening, and there's some strange movement of strange creatures in the night, and we all need to band together. And then that's when she discovers that Nana didn't actually die. They were able to bring her back to life. And some of the supernatural things of the medicine women were fascinating. And actually, what's interesting is when you read the back of the book, Isabel Canas said that she actually researched journal entries and medical records from actual historical, real living medicine women that made notes and journal entries about patients that they treated and the way that they treated them. And she tried to be really true to their customs and their culture. And I thought it was fascinating. I thought, oh my gosh, this is so great. I don't know that the vampires are necessarily real, but like the way that they treated wounds, the way that they treated illness, the way they believed the spirit world could be manipulated and you could bring back someone with a strong tie. Like if they're on death's doorstep and you call to them and you anchor them to you and they have a strong connection to you, you can call them back. And I kind of believe in that because, when people are very close to death, if they have any ability to come back, doctors have been able to bring them back. People have called to their loved ones and they've been able to live. So I just thought this was all very fascinating. Here is my personal review. I said, the beginning was a bit slow, but the middle grabbed my interest and wouldn't let go until the end. Such good characters and rich storytelling. I loved the references to real curandera books at the end. They were called curadoras. Um, and yeah, I loved that. And another thing that was fascinating to me was the vampires and how the vampires were actually being manipulated by the US Army. And I was like, huh. It kind of reminded me, I don't know that it's true that they had supernatural or strange creatures that could help them win the war, but it kind of reminds me of Hitler and how Hitler chased after supernatural relics and documents and tomes and things treasure to help him win the war. He tried to get as much power from any source he could, and if it be real power or supernatural power, whatever, as long as he gets power. And it kind of had that kind of a vibe, like the US is going to win it no matter what the cost. And it was just an interesting balance of power between the war of Mexico versus the United States through Texas. And then the vampires add a different element to it. It is a really long book, but oh my gosh, like I said, the beginning was a bit slow, but once the story takes hold, once it grabs you, you're like, oh no, no, I need this. I need to know what's going to happen, what's going on. And it was a really hard book to put down. So, I highly, highly recommend this book, Vampires of El Norte. And make sure that if you do read this book, you read all the way to the end because she does discuss reading the curadoras pages, the medicine women. She talks about the research and how she tried to be authentic to the culture, and it's just really fascinating. All right, well, have a great day, lovelies.